Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, born in Manila, has become a captivating figure in the Catholic Church. Born into a modest but deeply religious family, Tagle's early life was marked by simple joys, a strong sense of community, and a devotion to faith. He excelled academically and was quick to help others, which became the foundation of his calling to priesthood. After earning degrees in philosophy and theology at Ateneo de Manila University, Tagle traveled to Rome to deepen his studies and earned his doctorate in Sacred Theology. He focused on how church leaders could work more collaboratively and how the church could better serve its people. His priestly career officially began in 1982, but he prioritized being with the people, listening to their stories, and walking with them through life's ups and downs. Tagle's warmth and constant smile earned him the nickname, the Smiling Priest, reflecting his approach to ministry. His leadership skills were not unnoticed, and in 2111, he was appointed Archbishop of Manila, a role that placed him at the helm of one of the most influential dioceses in Asia. As Archbishop, Tagle was known for his ability to connect deeply with people from all walks of life, championing the poor, marginalized, and those often overlooked by society. During crises like Typhoon Haiyan in 21313, Tagle was at the forefront, rallying support, comforting survivors, and reminding the world of the resilience of his people. His humility and service have made him a beloved figure in the Catholic Church. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, a young man from Manila, has become one of the most influential leaders in the Catholic Church. He was named a cardinal by Pope Benedict in 2012, signaling his unique ability to bridge tradition with modernity. His leadership style is approachable, empathetic, and deeply human, making everyone feel like they matter. When he was appointed prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, in 1921, his role expanded even further, becoming the face of the Church's outreach to the world. Tagle's influence spans continents, cultures, and communities, reflecting the reality of a church that is no longer centered solely in Europe, but is increasingly global in its reach. Under his leadership, the Vatican launched targeted programs to address specific regional needs, such as funding local schools and vocational training programs in sub-Saharan Africa, and reconciliation-focused missions in countries like Myanmar. Tagle's approach to these programs goes beyond cultural sensitivity. He recognizes the importance of addressing global challenges that affect everyone, regardless of faith. His work on migration is a prime example, as he oversaw the Share the Journey campaign, a global initiative aimed at building understanding and support for migrants and refugees. He visited refugee camps in Lebanon and Jordan, listening to their stories and amplifying their voices on an international stage. Tagle's commitment to interfaith dialogue is also evident in his efforts in Southeast Asia, where Catholicism often coexists with Buddhism and Hinduism. In Mindanao, a region in the Philippines with a history of Catholic-Muslim conflict, he supported reconciliation programs that bring leaders from both sides together to address shared concerns like poverty and education. His efforts are specific, targeted, and deeply personal, making him not just a figurehead, but a facilitator of real change. Cardinal Tagle, a prominent figure in the Catholic Church, has been a beacon of hope and inspiration for many. He has effectively connected with people on a personal level, providing comfort and reassurance during the COVID-19 pandemic. His leadership is characterized by a grand-scale vision combined with ground-level compassion, making him a compelling figure in the Church. Tagle's leadership aligns with Pope Francis's vision of mercy, focus on the poor, and rejection of clericalism. He has played a key role in ensuring that the Synod of Bishops on the Family addresses controversial issues facing modern Catholicism, such as divorce, remarriage, and LGBTQ+ inclusion. He has also pushed the Church to take tangible action in addressing deforestation, overfishing, and climate-related disasters in his home country, the Philippines. Tagle has also addressed the issue of clerical abuse, which has shaken the Church to its core. He has approached this issue with transparency and humility, calling for accountability and pastoral response to survivors. In the Philippines, he introduced training programs to prevent abuse and created spaces for survivors to share their experiences without fear of judgment or dismissal. This contrasts with the defensiveness that has often characterized the Church's response in the past. However, Tagle's connection to young people is particularly noteworthy. At World Youth Days, his addresses are often the most talked about moments. He acknowledges their doubts, fears, and aspirations, and challenges them to see themselves as active participants in the Church's mission. One standout moment came during World Youth Day in Panama in 2021, where he told the crowd, "You are not the future of the Church, you are its present." The capacity of Tagle to connect with newer generations is not just a breath of fresh air, but also an essential characteristic. Tagle presents an image of faith that is both genuine and welcoming, which is particularly relevant in this day and age, when the trust that people have in institutions is deteriorating and many young people feel estranged from religion. The method that he takes is profoundly rooted in Francis's vision of a church that places mercy and humanity of the highest importance over strict regulations. The path that Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, a leader who is noted for his humility, worldwide outreach, and charisma, must travel in order to become Pope, is fraught with a great deal of difficulty. It is possible that Tagle's legacy will be determined by his capacity to negotiate the issues that the Catholic Church faces, which is a complicated institution that contains both internal and external struggles. The argument put out by critics is that Tagle's apparent kindness may make him idealistic for the role of leader of an organization that is frequently entangled in power relations and political maneuvering. People who are familiar with Tagle, on the other hand, argue that his tenderness is not a weakness, but rather a virtue. He has shown compassion and empathy by disarming even the most ardent detractors, such as in his handling of diocesan changes in Manila. He has displayed these qualities. A very different animal is the Vatican, which is characterized by the Curia, which serves as the administrative center of the Church and has been a subject of contention for many years. Tagle is tasked with striking a balance between upholding the Church's traditions and addressing the pressing need for modernization and transparency. It is possible that his reputation as a bridge builder will allow him to be an effective mediator in this acrimonious atmosphere. Another big obstacle that Tagle must overcome is the divisiveness that exists within the Church itself. It is not accurate to say that the Catholic community is a homogeneous entity. Rather, there are factions that range from ultra-conservative to progressive. A one-of-a-kind obstacle is presented by the proliferation of populist and traditionalist groups, notably in Western countries. It is clear that Tagle is skilled at facilitating dialogue, even when it comes to contentious issues, as evidenced by his leadership in previous synods. The Catholic Church is struggling to maintain its membership in historically strong regions, such as Europe and North America, which is a problem from an external perspective. The work that Tagle has done in Asia and Africa has provided him with a wealth of knowledge regarding how to revitalize religious groups. On the other hand, reversing the decrease in secularized cultures is a task that is significantly more difficult. It is common for people in these areas to have the impression that the Church is out of touch, particularly among younger generations. Tagle is being forced to deal with bigger socio-political concerns that overlap with religious beliefs. It is necessary to have a pope who is capable of acting as both a moral authority and a practical champion in order to address issues such as climate change, global inequality, and migration. Tagle's power and accountability would increase significantly if he were to become the leader of the global Church. A single thing is very obvious with regard to all of these challenges. They will either shatter a leader or define them. The experience of Tagle implies that he has the resilience to rise above them. Yet, the papacy entails challenges and scrutiny that are unlike any other job. There is no question about whether he will be put through these tests. The question is how he will react to them. Perhaps, in his response, we will be able to determine whether or not the Church is capable of moving forward into the future while yet clinging to its history.